Hello everyone, it's me, it's Mark, and I'm here with you for another live stream class. Yay! Before I do anything, I need to know if you can see me. I need to know if you can hear me. If you can see me, if you can hear me, please say yes in the chat so I know everything is A-okay. If you can see me, if you can hear me, please say yes in the chat so I know everything is how it should be. Let's see. Oh, Helga says yes. Thank you, Helga. Kadeen says yes. Thank you, Kadeen. Saima says yes. Bor says as clear as a bell. And Boris, thank you for being our mediator today. Thank you for looking over the chat. And Boris is here. He's going to keep the bad people out. And if you guys need any help, if you have any questions, Boris will help you. I can't always see the chat. I'm looking at the whiteboard or talking to you in the camera. So there are times I don't see the chat. So Boris will help me out. So thank you so much, Boris. Cheers. Okay, Umesh says yes. Carlos, howdy, howdy. Irma says yes. We got the green team. Carlos and Irma are in the house. Fantastic. Great to see you guys. Raquel says yes. Hannah says yes. Marcelo says yes. Okay, great. You guys can see me. You can hear me. We can start. And we always start with a toast. Actually, two toasts. Our first toast will be for the green team. You see them. Their names are in green. They support me every month. We see Carlos. We see Irma. They are part of the green team. So let's give the green team a big thank you. Here we go. Let's take our beverage and do a toast. Here we go. Cheers. If you don't have a beverage, we can fist bump, bump, cheers, bump, cheers. And because we had a toast, we have to have a drink, bottoms up. Our second toast, it's for you, because without you, there's no reason for me to be here. So let's toast to you. Let's toast to a fun, interesting, informative, and productive lesson today. Cheers, bump, cheers, bump. And because I had a toast, or because we had a toast, we have to have a drink. Bottoms up. Okay, very good. We have good luck, and that is good. We can all use good luck. I can. I don't know about you. Anna, okay. Oh, Maha, Anna, okay, great. Well, let's talk about today's lesson plan. And here it is. Shafika's here. Hello, Shafika. Mwah. Good to see Shafika in the house. Okay, we are doing an idiom, of course. I'll write an idiom on the board. I will give an example sentence using the idiom, and then you make your own sentences using the idiom. After that, we have form a sentence. I will write a pattern on the board. There's also a worksheet. We will look at the worksheet. We'll look at the patterns. The pattern and example sentences based on the pattern, and then you will make your own sentences using the pattern. Then we have video dictation. There, I will read 8 sentences. You will listen clearly and write those sentences down word for word on a piece of paper. And there are 4 steps for the video dictation. Then we have another worksheet, and the topic is automotive, things about your car. And we have parts of a car, and you'll make sentences using those parts of a car. All the worksheets you see here today are on my Patreon. Go there for the worksheets. Support me there so I can support you here. Okay, well, let's get right into it, shall we? Let's do our idiom today. And our idiom is catch cold. Winter's coming. Don't catch cold. Winter is coming. Well, actually, it's still warm here in Japan. Fall is barely here. So fall is coming. Well, maybe fall is already here and winter's coming. So don't catch cold. That's our idiom, catch cold. Idiom, catch cold. Okay, and so it means become sick with a cold. Become sick with a cold. Okay, catch cold, become sick with a cold. And I have an example sentence for you. If I sit in a draft, I always catch cold. Okay, there we go. That's an example sentence for you. If I sit in a draft, now draft means like cold air coming in. So maybe if there's an open window, there's a cold draft. If there's a door open, maybe there's a draft. Maybe if there's a hole in the wall, there is a draft. Maybe you're sitting in the park and a cold wind comes through, we can say a draft. So if I sit in a draft, I always catch cold. If I sit in a draft, I always catch cold. Catch cold is our idiom. This is the idiom. Here is the explanation, become sick with a cold. This is an example sentence. Now it's time for your sentence. I want to see your sentences in the chat. By writing sentences in the chat, you're helping yourself and you're helping other people because we learn by examples. So the more examples we have, the more we can understand, and we get different vocabulary. We get different ways to use this idiom, for example. So the more examples we have, the better we can learn. And by making sentences, we are helping ourselves by practicing. Okay, I'm going to look in the chat to see your examples. Okay, Helga. With the onset of autumn, it becomes cold and people catch cold easily. Very good, Helga. Okay, Umesh, I caught cold in Delhi. Good. Okay, great, Boris. Thank you. Let's see your sentence, Boris. Okay, Anna has a sentence. Time to get sick. Okay, Anna, catch cold. We want... Oh, okay, Anna, you did. Okay, Kadeen, I think, has one first. Please take care of yourself not to catch cold. Very good, Kadeen. Please take care of yourself not to catch cold. Anna, my car has a draft, so I frequently catch cold in winter. Okay, Anna, here we go. We are going to fix your sentence. I want you to rewrite your sentence, okay? Here we go, Anna. My car has a draft, so I frequently catch cold in winter. Here we go, one more time, Anna. My car has a draft, so I frequently catch cold in winter. Okay, Ahmed, hello. I catch cold in winter. I catch cold. So we're using catch cold as the idiom. Catch a cold, right? That's more formal. But the idiom is catch cold. Raj, hello, Raj. Raj is in the house. Another green team member in the house. Thank you, Raj. Today, Raj, we'll write now our first activity. I'll write number 1. So you're here on time, Raj. So our first activity is an idiom, catch cold. So we're practicing writing sentences using the idiom. Catch cold means become sick with a cold. And I have an example sentence right here. If I sit in a draft, I always catch cold. Okay, Hannah, get inside before you catch cold. So we're using the catch a cold, that's correct too. But most of the time we say, I have a cold. But catch, yeah, maybe it's better not to use the when you say catch, because so the difference here, the idiom is a more of a colloquial, or we're describing something like catch, right? So if you play ball, you catch a ball, right? Or you catch a frisbee, right? If we're playing frisbee together, I throw the frisbee and you catch the frisbee. Or we play ball together, I throw the ball, you catch the ball, right? And so here, in a way, the cold is coming to you, right? The sickness, it's coming to you and you caught it. Oh, I caught cold, right? I, catch a cold, I caught it. And so that's more figuratively, where we use have when we acquire something, right? So I have a car, I acquired it, I bought it. Have, there's lots of uses for have, and one use is for illness, right? I have a headache, I have a stomach ache, I have a backache, I have a cold, right? I have a runny nose, I have a cough, I have a cold. And so when you say catch a cold, I understand, but the idiom is catch cold. The actual thing is I have a cold. Or do you have a cold? You have a you don't look so well. Do you have a cold? Oh, that's a bad cough. Do you have a cold? Oh, you have a runny nose. Do you have a cold? And here the idiom is catch cold. So we're using it more figuratively, where figuratively is a way of expressing something that associates with another thing, right? So we throw a ball and we catch a ball. So we're using catch cold figuratively, associating receiving, getting a cold with throwing a ball and catching a ball, for example, right? So catch cold. So we're using it figuratively. We're using it as an idiom. So we're not using the here. So if you're using it literally, we use have. If you're using it figuratively, we're using catch. So there's a slight difference. Come down with a cold, right? So that's good, Boris. So a cold, so that's literally, that is having a cold. So we're using the article have a cold. And so we use a before a noun. And so we're using cold as a noun here, have a cold. And here we're just using it as an idiom, catch cold. So slightly different, a slight difference. Oh, NYT, long time no see. NYT has, I have not caught cold for 3 years. Good. Okay, Mariza. Hello, Mariza. If you stand in the rain, you will catch cold. So we're using, okay, that's a good sentence, Mariza, but we're using the idiom, and we're not using we're just using catch cold. And so your sentence if we're using the idiom, you have a good sentence, but if we're using the idiom, we want to not use the So Marisa, your sentence, if you stand in the rain, you will catch cold. Okay, that's the idiom. And that sounds a little more natural. If you stand in the rain, you will catch cold. Okay, good sentence there. We're just using the idiom. So I'm just pointing out that for the idiom, not to use okay? But if you want to just use the actual expression, have a cold, then go ahead. For example, have a headache, have a stomachache, right? Have a backache, have a cold. Okay, I'm looking at the clock. We have to change activities. Great sentences, everyone. I always say we learn by example, and lots of great examples in the chat. So thank you for doing that. You're helping yourself and you're helping other people with your example sentences. So we are all learning together. Okay, Carlos has a nice sentence. Okay, Raj, I need to read the green team sentences before we go to our next activity. Raj, it was freezing cold yesterday. That's why I caught cold. Perfect. Nice sentence, Raj. Carlos, I didn't catch cold because I wore a scarf last night. Nice, Carlos. I didn't catch cold because I wore a scarf last night. Good, good, good. And I'll read Shafika for this last one, and then we will go to our next activity. Shafika, I catch cold in the end of fall. Okay, good. So, or Shafika, I always catch cold in the end of fall. So, like, for example, every year that happens, you catch cold every year, right? You always catch cold at the end of fall. So, go ahead and put always if it's repeated action. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, Raquel, yes. So Raquel has a question. So when you catch cold, you get sick. Yes, right here. So here is the meaning, the explanation. Catch cold, become sick with a cold. So remember, idiom represents an idea. Okay, so the actual words are used to represent something. And so idioms are more of a way of explaining something in a natural way. It's not the literal thing, it's not the actual thing. So the actual thing is have a cold. That's when you are sick. That's when you have a runny nose. That's when you have a cough. That is having a cold. But the idiom, we describe it. And so when you throw a ball and catch a ball, and so kind of like you're describing the situation, you're describing what happened to you using descriptive words like catch, right? So we can catch, we can imagine that, right? So maybe the thing happening, right? So when you throw a ball, we all have that experience, and when you catch a ball, and so catch cold, it came to you and you caught it, and now you have it, and so catch cold. So idioms are tricky because the words, the individual words do not mean what you're describing, right? The individual words do not represent what you are describing. It's just an expressive way to say something. And so idioms, so it's hard even for me to explain what an idiom is, but if you take each word individually, it means something else. But you put the words together and it means this. So catch cold means become sick with a cold. Okay? So anyways, I'm looking at the clock. We're spending a lot of time with this. We're busy. We have lots of activities to do. So I'm going to change activities now. And our next activity is form a sentence. Okay? So we're going now to practice a pattern. We call this form a sentence. Okay, I'm gonna write a pattern on the board. There's also a worksheet with example illustrations and sentences, and then you will make your own sentences, okay? So here is our pattern. Okay, this is the pattern. You weren't, were you? And so, like, for example, angry. You weren't angry, were you? So it's negative, and I'm confirming that it didn't happen, or you weren't feeling that, right? So angry is a feeling. So I'm confirming, I'm checking to see that you were not in this state of being. You were not feeling angry. So I'm checking to make sure you were not feeling angry. So I say, you weren't angry, were you? So maybe I said something to you. Maybe I commented, you know, like, oh, looks like you gained some weight. Or maybe, right? So I'm checking, oh, you weren't angry, were you, right? So maybe I said something where I wasn't sure. Maybe you could be angry, but I want to make sure. I hope you weren't angry. So I'm going to ask you, you weren't angry, were you, right? Or you weren't, so maybe I was out, I went to the market for a few minutes. I went to the store because I needed some milk, but I was only gone for a short time. And I want to make sure if you said you were coming to my house, and but I had to go out to get some milk or some snacks. You're coming to my house. We had a plan. Let's watch a movie together. Let's watch a sporting event together. And but I had to go out to get some drinks, to get some snacks. And so maybe you came and you didn't know I was getting snacks, and you went back home. So we missed each other. So you weren't at my house, were you? Right? So I want to make sure that I didn't miss you. Okay, so sorry, I'm explaining, maybe I'm confusing you. So let me show you a worksheet. The worksheet has example sentences and pictures, so you have a good idea how to use this pattern and the meaning of it. So let's look at the worksheet. Remember, I always say the more examples you have, the better idea you can get. Maybe the more you can understand this pattern. Okay, so I'm going to put the worksheet right up there, and there will be examples with pictures, and then you'll make your own sentences. So let's check out the worksheet where we have examples with pictures. And so by having pictures with the sentence, that's going to help you even more to understand the meaning, right? If I just wrote, you weren't angry, were you? And then trying to explain how to use the pattern, maybe you can get confused or you're not sure exactly. But with pictures, that's going to help you understand. So let's check it out. Let's check out the worksheet. Here we go. Okay, so the pattern, you weren't, were you? You weren't, were you? And the meaning is the speaker thinks something did not happen or wasn't true, but wants to confirm by asking the listener, right? So my example here, you weren't angry, were you? So I want to make sure you were not, right? So I'm confirming, I'm asking you with the question, you weren't angry, were you? Right? And it happened in the past, and I want to make sure that you are not angry, right? Okay, so here we have some more examples here. You weren't at the meeting yesterday, were you? You weren't at the meeting yesterday, were you? So I'm making sure that you were not there. So I'm confirming that you were not at the meeting. Number 2, you weren't serious about quitting, were you? You weren't serious about quitting, were you? Right? So I want to make sure you're not quitting. Maybe you were angry with the boss and you go, I'm out of here. I want to quit this job. You're very angry. So I'm making sure that you're not serious, right? You are not going to quit. You will continue working here. So I say, you weren't serious about quitting, were you? Okay, here we go. 2 more. You weren't expecting me to call, were you? You weren't expecting me to call, were you? So in this situation, I'm checking to see that you didn't want me to call, right? Expecting, so that means you're waiting for me to call, but I didn't call. So I'm confirming with you, you weren't expecting me to call, right? So I didn't call you. And I'm making sure that you were not waiting for my phone call. So you weren't expecting me to call, were you? Our next example, you weren't planning to go out tonight, were you? You weren't planning to go out tonight, were you? Right? So here I'm making sure that you're not going out. You're going to stay home, right? So your plan is to stay home. I'm confirming that is the plan. You weren't planning to go out tonight, were you? Right? So I'm confirming that you are staying home. And here we go. Our last 2. You weren't talking about me, were you? You weren't talking about me, were you? Here I'm confirming that you were not passing gossip. You were not gossiping about me. So I want to make sure you were not saying bad things about me. You were not gossiping about me. And so I say, you weren't talking about me, were you? So I'm confirming that you did not say anything bad about me. You were not talking about me behind my back, right? When I was not there, you were not talking, right? And our last example, you weren't upset with me, were you? You weren't upset with me, were you? So that's kind of like upset and angry, basically the same thing. Upset can be different emotions, right? Maybe you're very sad, so you're upset. Maybe you're very angry, so you're upset. Usually, maybe if you're crying, you're upset. If you're angry, you're upset. So those are the 2 basic ways that we are upset. Either like we're crying because we're super sad, or we are super angry, so we are upset. Okay, so we got examples. So now, of course, now it's time for your sentences, right? So we're using this pattern, you weren't, were you, confirming something didn't happen, confirming something wasn't said, right? Confirming something didn't happen, right? Past tense. You weren't, were you? Past tense. Happen. You're confirming that something didn't happen in the past. Something wasn't said in the past. Okay, let's see. Okay, Umesh, you weren't sick, were you? Good, good, good. Katie, you weren't fooling me, were you? Okay, yeah. Right, so maybe like playing a joke. You weren't fooling, like you said something like, oh, I won the lottery. You weren't fooling me, were you? Right, so I want to make sure that you were serious, right? Umesh, you weren't hungry, were you? Right, so in Umesh's situation, Was that Umesh? Yeah, you weren't hungry, were you? So maybe you came over to my house and I didn't offer you any food, right? If you're hungry, oh, make yourself a sandwich, right? But I didn't think you were hungry, right? So I want to make sure that you are not hungry. So, oh, you weren't hungry, were you? That's why I didn't offer you a sandwich. You weren't hungry, were you? That's why there's nothing in the kitchen. Carlos, you weren't talking about me, were you? Right? So you weren't passing rumors about me. You didn't say bad things about me, so you're checking for that. Right, Carlos? NYT, you weren't absent from school, were you? Right? So I want to make sure that you went to school. Helga, you weren't in town last week, were you? So I want to make sure that you were not here last week, because if you were here, I would give you a call, right? I would come and see you. So you weren't in town, were you? Right? So maybe someone said, hey, Helga or Joe was in town last week. Well, hey, I didn't know that. And then I called Joe. Joe, you weren't in town last week, were you? Saima, you had been waiting for me for 2 hours. You weren't angry, were you? Perfect. Good, Saima. So your sentence, Saima, explains how this pattern is used. That's very good, Saima. You had been waiting for me 2 hours. Sorry, Simon, one more time. You had been waiting for me for 2 hours, right? So that's a long time. Now I want to make sure you weren't angry, right? You weren't angry, were you? Right? Maybe many people, a lot of people would be angry. I don't want to wait 2 hours for you. I'm going to go back home, right? So I want to confirm that you're okay. I want to confirm that you are not angry with me because you had to wait. Okay, Ahmed, you weren't calling me, were you? So that's a good sentence. Maybe I'm on the phone. I'm talking to someone. While I was talking to someone, I want to make sure, did you call me, right? If you called me, I wouldn't answer the phone, right? Because I was talking with somebody else. Carlos, you weren't sad when the Astros lost the game, were you? Or weren't you? Yeah. No, were you? So here you're confirming. So this is positive. Okay, that's good. Good, Carlos. So I need to explain this a little bit better. So by seeing Carlos's sentence, it helped me to point this out. So this is negative, right? So we're both in the past tense, right? So it happened in the past tense, right? So weren't. So present tense is was, wasn't, was. Past tense, weren't, and were. Okay? This is negative. This is negative, right? And like you weren't angry, right? So that's a negative thing. You weren't calling. So it's negative. And then here we have positive. So I'm confirming. Were you? So I'm using positive tense here. You weren't angry, were you? You weren't talking about me, were you? So this is negative, this is positive. Okay, so Carlos's sentence, you just have to change the last part to positive, were. But great sentences, everyone. You're doing really well. Yeah, okay, so you weren't sad when the Astros lost the game, were you? Right. No, I was not sad because I'm a Dodger fan. Dodgers, go Dodgers. So, no, I'm never sad when the opposing team loses when they're playing the Dodgers. Shafika, you weren't drinking wine, were you? Oh, so So Shafika's checking on, you know, like, oh, you shouldn't drink wine, right? I don't want you to drink wine. So you're confirming, you weren't drinking wine, were you? So that person should not be doing that. So Shafika's confirming that it didn't happen. Okay, let's see. Okay, Shafika, you weren't going to the party without me, were you? So you weren't going to the party without me, were you? So so your sentence, Shafika, without me, I like that. Because like, that's not good, right? Like, you told me you were gonna take me to the party. So I'm confirming that you're taking me. So you weren't going to the party without me, were you? Right? You told me you were taking me to the party. So I'm making sure you weren't going to the party without me, were you? And I'm kind of suspecting that, right? So maybe you're doing something. Maybe you're not here on time. Maybe you told me you're going to come pick me up at 6 to take me to the party with you, but now it's 6 o'clock and you're not here yet. So I'm kind of thinking now, hey, you weren't going to the party without me, were you? Right? So I'm getting an idea that you might be going without me. So I'm checking to see it's not true. Right? I'm checking that you're still going to take me to the party, or you're going to take me to the party. You weren't going to the party without me, were you? Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's go a couple more. Again, we're spending a lot of time. That's okay. That's okay. We're practicing, right? But I have to be careful with the time. So let's go 2 more minutes because we still have more activities to do. Our next activity is video dictation. So let's go 2 more minutes using this pattern. Of course, I have a worksheet. Support me on Patreon, and you could download the worksheet and practice on your own. So yeah, Raj, I'm going to get to your sentence here. Okay, so I'm going to press it here. Okay, 2 more minutes. Okay, Raj, your sentence. You weren't laughing at me, were you? Okay, good sentence, right? So maybe there's an expression, laughing with me, laughing at me, right? So when you're maybe telling a joke, people are laughing with you, right? Ah, ha, ha, ha. We're laughing together. Where maybe you make a mistake, you drop something, you say something strange, or you mispronounce something. Maybe you're not a English speaker, or you're not native English speaker, right? Your first language is something else, right? Maybe your first language is Hindi, your first language is Spanish, your first language is French, right? But not English. And you're speaking in English, right? So it's not perfect, of course. Nobody's second language is perfect. That's obvious. That's, that is natural. And so you mispronounce an English word, or you have you say it in a strange way, maybe. And so people laugh at your English. And so they're laughing at you. And so that's not a good feeling, right? And so Raj's sentence, you weren't laughing at me, were you? So that's a good sentence, Raj. Okay, good, Carlos. Correction. So I always encourage you guys to rewrite your sentence. So if you made a mistake, right? The important thing is to notice your mistake and fix your mistake. If you do that, then in the future, you'll have a less chance to make that same mistake. So 2 minutes is up. So what Carlos did, his first sentence, right, he used double negative here, but this is negative positive, right? And so what Carlos did, Carlos fixed it. So here it is. You weren't sad when the Astros lost the game, were you? Good sentence. Okay. Let's see, Irma. Okay, this will be the last sentence, and then I'm going to change activities here. Irma, or the green team. I have to read the green team sentences. That's my responsibility for the green team, right? They join the channel, they support me every month. So what I do is I always make sure to read their sentences. Irma, I asked my husband, were to pick our daughter, were, okay, right, or Irma, I asked my husband, you weren't supposed to pick up our daughter, were you? Or weren't you to pick up our daughter, were, okay, Irma, yeah, I don't, that's strange. You were going to pick up our daughter, weren't you? You weren't. So it's almost yours, it should be opposite. Positive, negative. So Irma, you were going to pick up our daughter, weren't you? You were going to pick up our daughter, weren't you? Yeah, so but here we're doing negative, positive. So you weren't. Okay, we got do it again. Your sentence doesn't work in this pattern. Your sentence needs to be positive, negative. Okay, so Irma, go ahead and rewrite your sentence, but it should be positive, negative. So for example, you were going to pick up our daughter, weren't you? One more time. You were going to pick up our daughter, weren't you? Okay, so that's what you have to do, right? You have to pick up the daughter, right? That's your responsibility. Here in this situation, it didn't happen. But Irma, your situation, it has to happen, right? Your husband needs to go pick up your daughter, right? So you were going to pick up our daughter, weren't you? Right? That's your husband's responsibility. Here, it didn't happen. You're making sure it didn't happen. You weren't talking about me, were you? You weren't telling lies, were you? Right? You're making sure it didn't happen. Your situation, it needs to happen. Okay, Raj, this is our last sentence. You weren't angry with me, were you? When I didn't attend your session consistently. Yes. Okay, good, Raj. But we just need to change your sentence a little bit. You weren't angry with me. So on me, we don't use on me, with me. Okay, good, Raj. You weren't angry with me, were you? Okay, good. Okay, we got to change activities, everybody. So good job, like I said, the worksheet, right? Here it is. This worksheet is on my Patreon and has examples with illustrations, and it has the pattern right there, and it has an explanation of the pattern, right? You weren't, were you? The speaker thinks something did not happen, right? Did not happen. You weren't angry with me, were you? And or wasn't true, but wants to confirm, wants to make sure, right? So I don't think you're angry, but I want to make sure you were not angry. Okay, good, Raj. Okay, oh, Irma, you were picking up our daughter, weren't you? Yeah, you were picking up our daughter, weren't you? Yes, good, Irma. We just said picking up because the process of doing it. You were picking up our daughter, weren't you? So that's your husband was going to do that, right? You make sure your husband was doing that. Okay, let's change activities now. Let's do our video dictation. I'm going to make the worksheet smaller. Put it away. We're done with it. And we're going to our next activity. And our next activity is a video dictation. Here, you need a pencil and paper, and we're going to have listening and writing practice and speaking practice. And I'll explain everything to you right now. So number 3 is video dictation. And the topic is adjective order. Adjective order. So adjective describes nouns. So, and we're gonna like the order of using the adjectives. So adjective order. And the order we're using is opinion, size, and color. And we have 4 steps. So we have dictation, of course. So that is, oh, that's not the right spelling. So dictation, D-I-C-T-A-T-I-O-N. Okay, so dictation, that is you're listening and writing. Then we're going to shadow, that is speaking practice. So dictation is listening and writing. Shadowing is listening and speaking. And then we will check the sentences. Make sure you got them correct. And then we'll have a quiz to see if you remembered the sentence, right? So it's easy to forget, difficult to remember. That's what we want to do. We want to remember. If you remember, then you can use it, right? That's what you want to do. You want to use English. You want to speak English. So to speak English, you have to remember. You have to remember the words. You have to remember the patterns, right? And that's what we're doing here today. We're practicing patterns and vocabulary. And, well, the grammar is in the pattern, so we don't have to concentrate on the grammar. All we have to do is concentrate on the pattern and the vocabulary, right? So forget the grammar. Don't worry about the grammar because the grammar is in the pattern, okay? All we have to do is remember the pattern and the vocabulary. I mean, it's not easy, but that's what we want to do. Okay, and there are 8 sentences. You will listen and write them down word for word. And our topic, adjective order. Opinion, what you think about something. What you think about it, right? It's your opinion. It's your idea. So like, for example, my tumbler. Okay, this is my tumbler. I love it. I've had it for a long time. It's very important to me. Sentimental value. When I bought it, I have a good memory, and so this has special memories for me. So if I'm going to explain this, if I'm going to describe this tumbler, I'm going to use this order, for example. Opinion. So my idea, it's beautiful, right? I think it's beautiful. It's my opinion, my feeling. So I'm going to say beautiful. Size, it's tall, right? Here's like a normal mug, and so it's tall, right? So my tumbler is tall. So size, tall, and of course it's orange. It's orange, so color. So I'm going to say, this is, okay, it's a beautiful, tall, orange tumbler. It's a beautiful, tall, orange tumbler. Okay, so I'm using this order to describe this, right? This tumbler. It's a beautiful, tall, orange tumbler. That's what we're going to do today. That's what we're practicing. Opinion, size, color. You need paper. You need a pencil, because I will read 8 sentences. You will be listening and writing the sentences word for word. We're using a video. You will first just see numbers, okay? 8. We'll see 8 numbers. So part 1 is the most difficult, right? Because you'll just be listening and writing. But then shadowing, you'll see the picture, and then we will say the sentences. You will not see the sentence, but the picture. And then when we check the sentences, you will see the picture and sentence. So it gets a little easier, but then there's a quiz, so you have to remember the sentences. Okay, let's do it. I will not be able to see the chat, okay? So Boris will help you. I have to cover the chat because I'll be reading the sentences, so I will not see the chat for dictation and shadowing. But Boris is here. You can see Boris, he's in purple. He's here to help you, okay? If you have any questions during the dictation and shadowing, Boris will help you. Okay, Boris, thank you, buddy. Okay, I'm gonna put the video here. Let's see, where is it? Here it is, I found it. There it is. So, like I said, so adjective order, so opinion, right? That's our first adjective in the sentence. And what you think about the thing, the object, right? So this is, like we're talking about my orange tumbler, my tumbler, right? This is the object. So what you think, and I think it's beautiful. So it's my opinion, beautiful, and that's an adjective, describes this. And then size, how large or small the object is. So I'm gonna say tall, it's tall. And then color, right? It's orange. And so I'm going to say, it's a beautiful, tall, orange tumbler. Okay. So that's what we're practicing today. You have your pencil and paper. There are 8 sentences. I will not be able to see the chat now. I am reading the sentences. So sorry. But Boris is here to answer any questions that you may have. Okay, I got it. Oh no, hold on. Oh, that was weird. Okay, sometimes my computer does strange things. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Here we go. Dictation time. I will read each sentence twice. I will read each sentence 2 times. Here we go. And time to start. Oh, let's count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go with the dictation. Okay, number 1. She bought a beautiful big red dress for the party. It's a little long, sorry about that. Do your best. She bought a beautiful big red dress for the party. Number 2, I have a nice small black car. I have a nice small black car. Three, they live in a lovely large blue house by the sea. These are long, sorry. Difficult, but it's a challenge. They live in a lovely large blue house by the sea. He gave me a cute little white cat. He gave me a cute little white cat. I'm wearing a nice medium-sized green jacket today. I'm wearing a nice medium-sized green jacket today. We saw a beautiful tall yellow sunflower in the field. We saw a beautiful tall yellow sunflower in the field. She owns an elegant, large silver necklace. She owns an elegant, large silver necklace. They adopted a sweet, tiny brown puppy. They adopted a sweet, tiny brown puppy. Okay, some of that, I know it was long and lots of adjectives, right? So not easy, but it's okay, right? Like it's a challenge, and we're here to challenge ourselves, right? So we don't want it always to be easy, right? So always easy is not good. That's not how you progress. We want a mixture, some easy, some difficult, some easy, some difficult, and that's good for your learning process. Okay, dictation, we did it. I read 8 sentences, each sentence 2 times. You didn't see any pictures, you didn't see any words, right? You're only purely listening and writing. So it was a challenge for sure. Now we're going to shadow. Now we're going to say the sentences 3 times. You will see the picture. So that's going to help you understand the sentence. That's going to help your listening. By seeing the picture, it's going to help your listening. And so what we're going to do now is listen and speak. Okay? So yeah. So you're going to say the sentence with me. Here we go. We'll say each sentence 3 times. Here we go. Let's do it. Okay. Sentence 1. She bought a beautiful big red dress for the party. Yeah. She bought a beautiful big red dress for the party. Okay, one more time. She bought a beautiful big red dress for the party. Okay, here we go. Number 2. I have a nice small black car. I have a nice small black car. Yeah. I have a nice small black car. I have a nice small black car. Ooh. They live in a lovely blue, no. One more time. They live in a lovely big blue house by the sea. They live in a lovely big blue house by the sea. They live in a lovely big blue house by the sea. He gave me a cute little white cat. He gave me a cute little white cat. He gave me a cute little white cat. I'm wearing a nice medium-sized green jacket today. I'm wearing a nice medium-sized green jacket today. I'm wearing a nice medium-sized green jacket today. We saw a beautiful, tall, yellow sunflower in the field. We saw a beautiful, tall, yellow sunflower in the field. We saw a nice, tall, yellow sunflower in the field. She owns an elegant, large silver necklace. She owns an elegant, large silver necklace. She owns an elegant, large silver necklace. Okay, one more. Here we go. Last one. They adopted a sweet, tiny, brown puppy. They adopted a sweet, tiny, brown puppy. They adopted a sweet, tiny, brown puppy. Okay, good. Okay, that was shadowing. We said the sentences so you were able to see the pictures, and so that helped you understand, right? So the first part, dictation, that's the most difficult, just listening and writing, right? So it's hard, maybe hard for you to imagine what the sentence is or what the meaning of the sentence is. But then you saw the picture and perhaps it started like helping you, like, okay, I understand the sentence, but maybe you didn't get all the words. Some were very long, but now we're gonna look at the sentences and the pictures, okay? So now you will get the whole sentence with the pictures so you can check your sentences. How many did you get right? How many did you get wrong? Okay, so this is a good way to check. Okay, here we go. Let's check the sentences. I will now be able to see the chat now. Okay, good. Okay, Boris, thank you for your help. Now I see the chat. Carlos says, I like sunflower seeds. Me too. I like them too. Okay, here we go. Let's check the sentences. You will see the pictures. You will see the sentences. If you got them right, shoot some hearts. So in the chat, you can shoot hearts. And if you got it correct, shoot some hearts. Show everyone that you did it. Yeah. So I'm going to shoot some hearts right now. So I'm shooting some hearts. So if you got it, if you got the sentence right, shoot some hearts. Carlos says, Boris is doing a great job. Boris, thank you. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate your kind help. It really helps me because I can't always see the chat, of course. Okay, here we go. Let's check the sentences. If you got it right, shoot some hearts. Okay, here we go. She bought a beautiful big red dress for the party. One more time. She bought a beautiful big red dress for the party. If you got it right, shoot some hearts. Oh, Carlos got it. Simon got it. Well done. So there we go. So it's pretty long. And then the article, right? The noun is dress. So we say a dress. But then the adjectives go between. So maybe some of you are wondering, so we're describing a noun, right? So dress. So if it's just a dress, so we might say a dress. It's a dress. Where can I write? I'll write it here. So it's a dress. Let me write it out. It is. Okay, so it is a dress. Okay, so this is our noun. This is our thing, right? So a noun is a person, place, or thing. So this is our thing. And then we use an article. If it's singular, we use a. And so the a lets us know the next word is a noun. So a dress. It is, so this is the subject, right? And then is our verb, be verb, and then is our article, and then dress is a noun. It is a dress, right? Or this is a pronoun, I should say. Pronoun, be verb, article, noun. But if we describe it, right? So we're not describing the dress. We're not using any adjectives, right? Adjective, describe, right? So it's a beautiful, tall, orange tumbler, right? So now we're going to describe it. We're going to explain about it. We're going to give you more information. So here, for her, right? And so it goes, the adjectives describing it, describing the dress goes between, right? So it's going to go between here. So, beautiful. Big. Red. Then the thing, dress. Okay, and then we put it is. It is and then beautiful big red dress. Right? So if you're wondering, and then the adjectives are in between. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 3 adjectives, right? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, here we go. Okay, we got hearts. We got people who got the sentence correct. Great job. Thank you, Boris, again. Doing a great job. Okay, here we go. Our next, I have a nice small black car. I have a nice, small, black car, right? So, a nice, small, black car. Right there. If you got it right, shoot some hearts. And good, Carlos. And today, this is our order. Next week, we'll have different ways to describe something. So today, opinion, size, color. Next week, we'll have something like shape. You can see boars like age, shape, material, right? So we'll change the types of adjectives, right? So opinion is a type of adjective. Size is a type of adjective. Color is a type of adjective. There are other types, like what Boris says. So we have age, right? Old, young. We have age. We have shape, rectangular, round, rectangular, square, right? And material, cotton, wool. Like this is my shirt is it's a polyester, maybe polyester. So there's different types of adjectives. So next Friday, we'll do different types. We'll do order with different types. Okay, so that's what we'll do next week. Okay, here we go. Here we go, number 3. Check your sentence. Did you get it right? This might be a difficult one. I think this was difficult. They live in a lovely, large, blue house by the beach. They live in a lovely, large, blue house by the sea, right? A house. So, a house. This is our article. This is our noun. Address, a house, a car. So far, one was a dress. How do we describe the dress? We use these adjectives. Second was a car. How do we describe the car? How do we talk about the car? Here's a house. A house. How do we talk about the house? Oh, okay. So Boars has a good question. Sea or beach? Either is fine. I said beach because we got some sand here. And a beach, there's sand, and you can lay down on the sand. You can play volleyball on the sand. You could build a sand castle on the sand. So a beach has sand. A sea is water. But we could say by the sea because we see water. But I'm using beach because we can play on the beach, right? We can build a sandcastle on the beach. We can play volleyball on the beach. We can throw a frisbee on the beach, right? In the sea, you can sail a boat on the sea. You can go on a boat cruise, a ship cruise on the sea. Okay, good. I said sea? Hold on. I do this sometimes. I'm sorry. Boris, you are correct. So, thank you, Boris. So my paper, so I read the sentence, right? And so I couldn't see the dictation shadowing. We didn't see the sentences. And my paper, I wrote sea, but here I wrote beach. Thank you, Boris. Thank you, thank you. So, my mistake. The dictation, I said by the sea. Here on the video, it says by the beach. So, oh, my mistake. So, in the dictation shadowing, I said by the sea. I always make mistakes. Sorry. By the sea. Okay. Maybe I did that with, I'm thinking maybe with the cat. Maybe I wrote cat and it should be kitten. I don't know. Okay. So, okay, thank you, Boris. So, 2 ways. If you, so yeah, so I said, so if you, when you wrote down your dictation, it was by the sea. Here it says by the beach. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Thank you, Shafika. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go to our next one. Oh, Scotland. My aunt is from Scotland. I have a Scottish aunt. Ah, Saima says, I can't make properly the use of adjectives. So, the order, so I think, so basically it goes out and in. So like your opinion, so how the adjective order goes, it goes from like concept to the thing, right? Concept to the thing. So if we just think about this simple right here, opinion, it's concept, it's your idea, right? You can't touch it, you can't see it, it's your idea. So it's furthest out. So opinion is first, right? Because the last one's going to go right to you can see it, right? Less opinion, right? So at the first adjective, the first order is the most outside, and then we get closer, and so now size, but still size. I say tall, you can say thin, right? So there's still some open idea about it, right? I say tall, but maybe you say, oh, thin, right? So it's still like, I say tall, but maybe you think, it's not that tall. I have a taller one, right? And then, but color is last. It is orange. You cannot say it's not orange. You can say it's not beautiful. I think it's beautiful, but maybe you don't think so, right? So that's further out, right? So that's first. My opinion, my idea. Maybe you think it's different. Then size. I say it's tall, but maybe you go, no, that's not tall. I have a taller one. But our last adjective is color. You cannot say it's blue. You cannot say it's red. You cannot say it's white. It's orange for sure. So with adjective order, it goes from out to in. Okay. But Saima, it's best that you go to a dictionary and you can, the dictionary will tell you exactly the order, right? So, but basically, you go from out to in. Okay, you go from opinion, like your idea, into more facts, more facts, more facts, more facts. Okay? Okay, good, Saima. Okay, let's go to 4. Yeah, abstract to concrete, exactly. Okay. Oh, I did it. Just, oh, go back. No, stop, stop, stop. Okay, I did the, I had an idea. So this again, I made another mistake. In the dictation, I said cat. It's kitten here. So I made two big mistakes. So in the dictation, I said cat. But here it's kitten. So so sometimes when I make the video and then I make the sentences. So I put the sentences in the video, and then a separate piece of paper I typed out sentences and what I was thinking and what I was writing, two different things. So he gave me a cute little white, and in the dictation I said cat. Here it says kitten. So in the dictation it's cat, right? So I'm sorry. So he gave me a cute little white cat. My mistake. If you put cat, go ahead, shoot some hearts. You got it right. My mistake. Okay, let's go next. Okay, here we go. 5. Carlos, thank you. I'm always making mistakes, Carlos. I am prone to mistakes. I am not mistake-free. Okay, Carlos, great job. Carlos, 4 for 4. Here's number 5. Good job, buddy. Carlos, your ear is very good. Great listening skills, Carlos. Oh, Helga, interesting. Helga says, often white male cats with blue eyes are deaf. That's interesting. Irma, people, right? We all, humans make, yeah, yep. It's hard not to make mistakes. It's difficult. It's easy, right? Easy to make mistakes, difficult to not make mistakes, for sure. Okay, here we go. Number 5. I think I got this right. I'm wearing a nice medium-sized green jacket today. I think mistakes are finished now. Oh, Carlos. Oh, Irma. Yeah, so I think medium-sized. Maybe that was the difficulty. So clothing has a small-sized. So I have a medium-sized. I have a large-sized. So describing, right? So sized, medium-sized, that is an adjective. So describing clothing, we use size, right? Helga, sized, yeah. Oh, Shafika got it. Good, Shafika. Well done. Oh, we got Norm's here. Norm's in the house. Oh, there's Norm. Hello, Norm. Thank you, Norm. I appreciate it, buddy. We are doing adjective order, dictation. We did dictation, shadowing. Now we're checking the sentences. And then we have a quiz after this. And then we still have another worksheet. We still have more practice. Here we go, number 6. Okay, here we go. We saw a beautiful, tall, yellow sunflower in the field. We saw a beautiful, tall, yellow sunflower in the field. So let's see if we could remember. 1 was a dress. 2 was, I'm already forgetting. 1 was a dress. 3 was a beach house, a house, right? What was 2? 3 was a kitten. 4 was a jacket. 5 was a... I already forgot. You guys are doing good. You guys remember more than I can remember. Yeah. Can you remember the nouns, right? So we're describing nouns, right? That's what the purpose of this activity, right? Describing nouns, describing things using this order of adjectives, opinion, size, color. So I'm trying, oh, a car. Yeah, good, Hannah. So 1 was a dress, 2 was a car, 3 was a house, 4 was a kitten, 5 was a jacket, 6 was a sunflower. It's good practice for your brain. And then this is a necklace. I think I remember her now. She owns an elegant large silver necklace. If you got it right, shoot some hearts. Oh, Shafika, no problem. Yeah, so it's a challenge, memory game, right? Let's do it again. So 1 was a dress, 2 was a car, 3 was a house, 4 was a kitten, 5 was a jacket, 6 was a sunflower, 7 is, right? We're looking at now. 7 is a necklace, right? So we're using and then the thing, and then we're in the between them is the adjectives, right? Are the adjectives. Okay, here we go. Number 8. Oh, and then how can we forget the puppy? The puppy. How can we? This is going to be easy to remember. 8 is the puppy, a puppy. Very cute. Okay, they adopted a sweet, tiny brown puppy. There we go. So sweet. I think it's sweet. Tiny, right? Very small. And then the color is brown. Okay, good. All right. That was the sentences. We checked the sentences. Okay, now it's the quiz. What we're going to do is, one more time, we're going to say what the things are, right? Here we go. Number 1 was a dress. 2 was a car. 3 was a house. 4 was a jacket. 5 was a sunflower. 6 was, no. 5 was a kitten. 6 was a jacket. 7 was a sunflower. And 8 was a puppy. Did I get that right? Oh, Helga. Okay, here we go. Helga, I'm sure she got this right. 1 was a dress. 2 was a car. 3 was a house. 4 was a kitten. 5 was a jacket. 6 was a sunflower. 7 was a necklace. And 8 was a puppy. I think I got it. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Helga. Okay, now, but you're going to have to say the sentence now, right? So we know, okay, so we know the noun, a dress. So what was, how did I describe the dress, right? How did I describe the car? How did I describe the house? So that's the challenge for you. So you're going to see the picture, and then in the chat, you're going to write the sentence, right? That's the quiz. Do you remember the sentence? It's easy to forget, difficult to remember, right? It was a challenge. We had to like think back. Okay, one was address, right? So that's the challenge, remembering. Easy to forget. That's not a problem. The challenge is to remember. That's what the quiz is. The challenge. Okay, so let's do the quiz now. So in the chat, you're going to write this sentence. And we have four for the quiz. Here we go. Number one. So we got the dress, right? But how is it described? How is it described? In the chat, write the sentence in the chat. Number one. Do you remember the sentence? Okay, Carlos Carlos has his sentence. Helga has her sentence. Kadeen has her sentence. Bors has his sentence. NYT has his sentence. Pierre's here. Hello, Pierre. Pierre has his sentence. Okay, Samuel. Hey, Samuel, how are you? Good to see Samuel. Umesh. Shafika. Okay, let's have a look. How did you do? Here we go. Okay, it's a long one, but you guys got it. She bought a beautiful big red dress for the party. Okay, here we go. Irma. She bought a beautiful big red dress for the party. Good, good, good. Irma, you got it. Okay, here we go. Good, Samuel. Samuel says, I'm fine. Pierre, we haven't done. Oh, okay, he's... Pierre. Here's number two. There's the noun, a car. Do you remember the adjectives to describe this car? Do you remember the sentence? Write the sentence in the chat. Okay, Pierre, Kadeen, Bors, Helga, NYT, Irma, Saima. Umesh, Carlos, Samuel. Okay, let's have a look, shall we? You guys got it, of course. You guys are too smart. Okay, yep, there it is. I have a nice small black car. Very good, everybody. Okay, Hannah, Shafika, good job. Okay, here we go. We got two more. Here's our next Pierre. There we go. He did, Boris, but this time, not this time. Here we go. There's four. Do you remember the sentence? Oh, such a cute. And then the kitten, right? So the noun is a kitten. How did we describe the kitten? Write the sentence in the chat. Okay, Helga, good. Bors, I see Bors, I see Helga. Samuel, Katie, Irma, Shafika. So Helga, this does not have blue eyes, so this cat can hear you. This cat can hear you. It has black eyes. So this cat can hear. So Helga was saying that white male cats with blue eyes are usually deaf. Deaf means that not able to listen, not able to hear. Okay, Raquel, Saima, Henna, Katie, Pierre, Merlene, nice. Hello, Merlene. How are you? Carlos. Okay, let's check the sentence, shall we? Okay, good, Helga. Okay, there it is. He gave me a cute little white kitten. If you say cat, right? Cat, I said that was in the dictation part. I made a mistake. I said cat. Where here it's written kitten. So if you said kitten, that's fine. Cat, that's fine. I said cat during the dictation and shadowing. I said cat, my mistake. I made another mistake too, by the sea, the house by the sea. Here it's going to say beach. And Boris reminded me, Boris. See, I need Boris because he was able to notice that. I didn't notice it. Okay, here we go. Last one more. Let's do it. And then we have one more worksheet after this. Carlos says, I like dogs, not cats. I like both. I have a cat. Little cat, no problem. Easy to take care of. Here in Japan, cats are easier than dogs. Here in Japan, we don't have places for dogs. Dogs need space. They need to be able to run. Dogs need to be able to, get in the dirt and play in the grass. Here in Japan, we don't really have that. So in Japan, cats are pretty easy to take care of. Okay, there is the picture. Do you remember the sentence? So we have necklace, right? That's our noun, necklace. But what's the adjective? How is the necklace described? How is the necklace described? Okay, Norm, take it easy, buddy. Take it easy. Okay, Raquel says, tall, old, fat man, or tall, fat, old man. So these adjectives, the orders, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. In the dictionary, it's going to have like the order, right? But for Raquel, I would say fat, or I'd say tall old man. Or tall fat old man. Tall old fat man. Tall fat old man. Tall old fat. Tall fat old man. Tall old fat man. Tall fat old man. So I would go with the second one. Tall fat old man. But if you want to go tall, old, fat man, that's okay. Okay. Yeah, so like the thing is, they have like, so in this, right, color is going to be, but yeah, there's always like exceptions. There's always, you know, it's not exact. Okay. Who was that? Raquel. So it's not always exact. Either of those are, I would say, is okay. Either is fine. Yeah, Raquel. It's not, you know, it's not science, you know. Science is exact, but language is not science, right? There's room for your idea, right? So that's the nice thing about language. It's not math, it's not science, it doesn't have to be exact. You can put your own expression into the language. You could put your own personality in the language, right? So when you're reading, what's wonderful about books, what's wonderful about stories, it's the person telling the story, they put their personality in the story. They put their creativity in the story. They put their style in the story, right? And so where science and math, there's not room for that, right? It's all fact-based. But language, you put your style, you put your personality, you put your imagination into the story, into the language, into your sentences. And so it's not science, it's not math. So you have space, you have room, you have opportunity to put your style in your sentences, what you say, how you describe it, how you feel about it, right? Okay, here we go. And the sentence is, good. She owns an elegant, large silver necklace. She owns an elegant, large silver necklace. Yep. So here we're practicing. So remember, the purpose of all this is not so much like grammar rules, but practicing communication. So we're just practicing making sentences. We're practicing our listening. We're practicing our speaking, right? And we're making sentences. And so that's, you know, so I do this just for practice, okay? And so if you want to change this up a little bit, that's okay, right? It gets, like here, this is pretty clear, right? Opinion, size, color. These three are pretty easy to keep in order, but once you start getting to like shapes and more abstract things, more things that are not so concrete, like color, right? That's concrete, color. But then when we get in like sizes and opinions and material, like material is pretty concrete, but like age, right? You have more flexibility, right? Old, young. What does that mean, old? What does young mean, right? Middle-aged. What does that mean? And so you have more flexibility. Opinion, more flexibility. So the more flexibility you have, you know, so the order is going to change. Where you start getting down to what it is, then there's less flexibility, right? It's orange. You can't say white. Material, cotton. Once you get to facts, like material, color, that has to be, you know, at the end. But at the beginning, opinion, size, age, you have a little more flexibility. Okay, that was video dictation. Sorry, lots of talking today. I'm sorry if you guys were, getting, Mark, shut up, stop talking. Let's get on to the activity. So I'm sorry. But today we had lots of interesting questions. I think our topic was interesting today. So that's why I started talking more about explaining things. So I try to just be focused. I try to just stay on topic. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so we got one more activity. And actually we have two. In the chat, there's a quiz. There's a white box. Choose the best word. So you'll see a sentence. You'll see a space to put the word in. And you choose which word belongs into the sentence, which word is best for the sentence, and that's the last thing we'll do. But right now we have a worksheet, and it's from my book, Which One is Different? And the last few weeks we've been practicing automotive, like parts of a car. And so what we're going to do today, you're going to make sentences using the parts. Okay, so what we did in the last few weeks, you chose which word was best and why. So you gave your opinion of which one was different from the others. And so we had parts of a car. But today we're making sentences using the parts. So you have freedom, you have choice of what to say, right? And there's a worksheet. So again, you'll see the worksheet. You'll see an example sentence. So that will help you understand the purpose of the worksheet, how to do the worksheet. And again, on my Patreon, you'll find all the worksheets that we do here. Support me there so I can support you here. So let's check it out. There it is. Okay, automotive, and so we're going to make sentences. And here we have, right here, that's gas, right? So you need gas to go. If you have a car, you need gas. And so the sentence, I need to get gas. And when your tank is running low, when you need to go to the gas station, we say, I need to get gas. I have to go to the gas station. I have to put gas in my car. So we say, I need to get gas. Okay, so that's what I want you to do. It's your own idea. Make any sentences you want, but you have to include the part, right? The automotive part. So here, let's look at the parts. Let's first go over the vocabulary of the parts. Okay, so that's gas. Then we got piston, right? That's in the engine. Goes up and down. That turns the crankshaft. The crankshaft turns the transmission. The transmission turns the axle and so forth. Anyways, there is a brake pad, right? It's a brake. No, it's a disc brake, right? Disc brake. I need to make sure. Oh no, yeah, it's a disc brake. Disc brake. Then we have gas pedal. Make the car go fast, or make the car accelerate, right? Thank you, Helga. Then we have the gas pedal. We got the steering wheel. We got the shift knob, right? So your hand goes over that. It's a knob, shift knob. Then we got tires. We got turn signals. We got an air pump. Put air in your tire. Air pump. Then we got the battery. We got jumper cables. So if your battery dies on you, if the battery quits on you, you can use those jumper cables with another battery. And so the other battery will put a current and charge your battery. So one battery charges the other battery with the jumper cables. Then we have a charging station. If you have an electric car, you need to power the battery in your car, your electric car. Where if you have a combustible engine, you put gas in it, right? Combustible engine. Or if you have an electric car, then you have to charge the battery in your car, the batteries in your car. Then here we have a tire jack. So if you need to change your tire, that lifts up just a little bit of your car so you can change your tire. The next one is a car jack. And so if you have to lift up the whole car, like the whole back of the car, if you need to change the transmission, for example, or you need to do some work on the engine, then you need a car jack. There, next is a lug wrench. And so that loosens the tire, the bolts on your tire, so you can take it off. And so that's called a lug wrench. And then to check your air pressure, you need a air gauge. And the air gauge tells you how much air you have in your tire. So there we go. That's the vocabulary, or I should say the key words, you know, the parts of your car. So you're going to make sentences using these key words, okay? So here we go. I got to make it smaller now. Okay, so here we go. So it's time to make sentences. And I need to use the bathroom, okay? I've been drinking coffee, I've been drinking water, and I need to go to the restroom. I need to use the bathroom for 1 minute or two. So I'm going to turn off my mic, of course, and then go to the restroom. And you guys start writing sentences. Okay, Boris, thank you. Check the sentences, okay, Boris? Okay, I'll be back in 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. Oh, I gotta get my glasses. my glasses. I put them over here. Okay, I got my glasses. Now I'm in front of the computer. Now I can see your sentences. Okay, Carlos, good. Okay, crankshift turns the wheels. Okay, actually that is a piston. The crankshift, the pistons turn the crankshift. So first the pistons happen. And then once the pistons move, the pistons are connected to the crankshift, or the crankshaft actually. And so the pistons turn the crankshift. Okay, NYT, the price of gasoline is increasing these days. Very good. Umesh, disc brake is a new, oh, okay, disc brake. So disc brakes are a new device. Disc brakes are a new device. Disc brakes are a new device. Oh, okay, Shafika, Boers, he is the moderator. So he's blue, and you can see he has like a wrench next to it. So he can, if they're spamming, he can take out the spammers. So he is a moderator. He has certain power in the chat. So he can get rid of spammers. And so he's here to help me in the chat, Shafika, so that's why he is blue. He has that wrench next to his name. Okay, NYT, don't push on a gas pedal too far. Okay, good. Okay, let's see, yeah, battery. Shafiq, I need to get a new battery for my car. Okay, there we go. Moving it down a little bit. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's battery. Good, Shafika. Yeah, Umesh, brake pads are necessary in a car. You're welcome, Shafika. Okay, Irma, sometimes when I was running late to work, I like to push the pedal. Yeah, get moving. Get the car moving. Thank you, Helga. Irma, last week I got my tire. Okay, so Irma, last week I got a flat tire. Last week I got a flat tire. Okay. Umesh, steering wheels turn tires. Carlos, I need to get a new battery. Very good. So I think this is kind of hard for a lot of people. So let's go here, and let's go 2 more minutes. I think people are getting bored, and this might be hard for people. So if you like this, then support me on Patreon for it, or on Amazon you can get the book. Which one is different? On Amazon, and you get everything is there in the book, and lots of practice for you in the book, lots of writing practice in the book. Or go to my Patreon to get the worksheets. But we'll just like 2 more minutes, and then we'll go to our quiz. I think people are getting bored here. Okay, Irma, last week I got a flat tire. Good, good. So we want a flat tire. So Irma, I'll write this for you. Last week I got a flat tire. Okay, there we go, Irma. Last week I got a flat tire. Okay, Umesh, turn signals indicate where the vehicle is going. Very good. Yeah, Carlos. Oh, thank you, Boris. Yeah, see, Boris has power to do that. Thank you, Boris. Appreciate it. Yeah, Carlos, when I took Spanish in college, Spanish grammar was really difficult for me because it was completely different. And actually Japanese is close to Spanish, like the grammar. But the thing about Spanish, there's so many grammar or verb tenses. It's really hard. And then you have the feminine, the masculine, los, las, and vosotros. So lots of like grammar, Spanish grammar is really hard. I thought it was really hard. Okay, that was 2 minutes. I think it's time to change. This was what I'm doing. So I'm going through the book page by page. And so how it works. So maybe, this part is where, this is probably more like self-study, right? And so this works better like by yourself, not so much like maybe here in the live stream. Oh, is it? Helga says, Mark, you should learn Russian. Maybe it's even harder, I bet. Japanese isn't so difficult. The Japanese, the writing, the kanji is difficult, but Japanese grammar is not so difficult. The pronunciation is not so difficult, but Japanese writing system is very, very difficult. I gave up. I can't write Japanese. So getting back to the book here, and Boris, he put the link to the book at my Amazon page, so thank you for that. But like how the book works, so which one's different, right? And so this activity works really good here in our live stream classes, I think, right? Because you can write your opinion, what you think, and use your imagination, right? And so this works really well here. And the next page, it's practicing the vocabulary, right? So everything we learned before, like all the words here, the important vocabulary, the key words, you make sentences, right? So at home with the book, studying by yourself, I think this activity is good. But maybe here, live stream, it's a little more maybe not, a little boring maybe, but every week we've been doing one page at a time. So I still think it's important. I'm still going to do it, but maybe I'll spend a shorter amount of time. So yeah, and then next week we're going to do the last page, and it's a little, here you rate yourself. Like there's a sentence, and then you give your opinion with a number. So for example, gasoline smells good. Maybe some people like the smell of gasoline, but other people don't. So you give your opinion. So if you like the smell of gasoline, maybe give it a high number. If you don't like the smell of gasoline, you give it a lower number. So again, this activity works good here because you can express your ideas to everybody in the chat. But and then the last part is I choose a grammar tense, a verb tense, and then you make sentences using that grammar tense. So for example, our next week we're going to be using the past perfect progressive tense. And of course there's an example of how to use that grammar tense. So this page is good. These 2 pages are good for here. This is good for by yourself, you know, at home. But anyway, so but every week we're going to do 1 page at a time. And again, Boris put the link. You can get the whole book at Amazon.com. I think it's like $10 for the book, so under $10, so it's not too expensive, and lots of practice for you. Okay, great. Yeah, Irma. So that's next week. Okay, let's go to our last activity. Actually, it's a quiz. I didn't even write it here. Oh, I didn't even write it on the board. This was our sentence. That was number 4. I'm sorry. So now I'll write it now. So number 4, write sentences. And it was automotive. Right? I didn't do it, did I? Oh, no. Okay, so we just did that, right? So write sentences, that's what that worksheet was. And the topic was automotive, right? Parts of the car. Okay, so that is done. That is complete. And now we're going to do our quiz. All right, so on top of the chat, there is a white box. There is a sentence. What you will do is choose the best word. Let's have a look at it. If you haven't done it, do it now on top of the chat. Okay, well, are you ready for the quiz? Okay, good. The sentence is, he a sandwich for lunch. He a sandwich for lunch. Choose the best word. Is it eating? Is it ate? Is it eaten? Is it eats? Does the sentence go like this? He eating a sandwich for lunch. He ate a sandwich for lunch. He eaten a sandwich for lunch. He eats a sandwich for lunch. Choose the best word. Good luck. Is it eating? Is it ate? Is it eaten? Is it eats? Okay, great. Okay, Carlos. He went to eat. Maybe that's a restaurant. I don't know that restaurant. Umesh, I don't know more about car parts. Carport, if you don't have a car, then you don't need to know. But if you have a car, you need to know the parts. You need the vocabulary. If you drive a car, you need to know those car parts. Or if you go rent a car, right? It's important to know the car parts. If you drive a car, if you rent a car, you should know the parts of the car. That is perfect, Helga. So you can have eats or ate, but it's better to say ate. The best word here is ate, where he eats a sandwich for lunch. It's a repetitive action, but it doesn't sound, we need that adverb, and that's what Helga wrote usually. So usually gives a like adverb of time, like how often, right? And so he usually eats a sandwich for lunch, but here we just have a very simple sentence and just it's ate. He ate a sandwich for lunch. It happened, it's finished, it's over. So he ate a sandwich for lunch. What did he have for lunch? What did he eat for lunch? He ate a sandwich for lunch. Very, very basic, simple sentence, right? He ate a sandwich for lunch. So that's actually the best word for this sentence, because we don't have any other indication of how often. We don't have an indication of when. So we're just assuming that it already happened, and so we want to use ate. He ate a sandwich for lunch. That is the best word. Yeah, Carlos, good. He ate a sandwich for lunch. Very good. Irma, he ate a sandwich for lunch. Perfect. Good, good, good. Yeah, so Shafika, the best word, grammatically, you're okay, but it doesn't sound so natural. You'd want like, he always eats a sandwich for lunch, or he usually eats a sandwich for lunch. So if it was like he always a sandwich for lunch, then you want to put eats. Or he usually a sandwich for lunch, then we want to put eats. But here in our sentence in the quiz, the best word is ate. Thank you, Carlos. You're always helping me to remember our premiere. That is right. So we are finished with our activities now, but I want to tell you about tonight. So in 12 hours or less, no, 10 hours. In 10 hours, less than 10 hours, like 9.5 hours, we're going to have a premiere. That is 10 p.m. tonight, Japan time. We will watch a video, a collection of 5 videos, and we will chat live. You will not see me, but we're going to chat live. We're going to make sentences based on the 5 videos. So we're going to look at 5 videos, watch 5 videos, and make sentences together using the patterns in the video. Also, we'll just talk to we'll just chat, like what's happening, how are you feeling, things like that. So whatever you want to say in the chat, we can do it together, but we'll be watching 5 videos and making sentences using the patterns in the video, using the vocabulary in the video. Yeah, so that is happening at 10 p.m. Japan time. YouTube calls that premiere. So it's YouTube, not me. That's YouTube's name. That is, YouTube decided that name. So premiere video. (10 p.m. tonight. So today is, here in Japan, it is October 18th. Already October 18th. We're already past the middle of October. Okay, so there we go. Please come back. Come back in 9 and 9.5 hours, or 10 hours. Come back at 10 p.m. Japan time, so we can chat together. We can make sentences together while watching 5 videos. Okay, so it's a collection. So one video has 5 videos. So it's a collection of 5 videos, and we can chat together. We can make sentences together based on the videos that we are watching. Okay, well, I'm hungry. It is lunchtime. I need to eat. I'm very, very hungry. Okay, so let's say goodbye. Thank you, Henak. Okay. Oh, yes, Henna will be there. Thank you, Henna. Mwah. Yeah, Boris, thank you, buddy. Thank you so much, Boris, for your fabulous help. So let's say goodbye together. Let's count down. Peace and love, everybody, to you and your family. Stay healthy, be safe, smile. When you smile, you're happy and you're spreading happiness. So it's important to be happy. It's important to smile. So peace and love, good health, be safe, smile, peace and love. Okay, to you and your family, the 5 important things in life. Okay, let's count down together, shall we? To say goodbye until our premiere video, 10 p.m. tonight, Japan time. I live in Japan, so it is Japan time. Okay, let's count down. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Until tonight for the premiere video. Take it easy. Thank you, Green Team. Mwah. Thank you so much, Carlos and Irma, for being here with me. I really appreciate it. Right, Carlos and Irma? Yeah? Make sure I'm not... Yeah, okay. Thank you, too. And, of course, Boris. Thank you, Boris, for helping out as the moderator. I really appreciate that, your hard work. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Mwah. Take it easy. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Premiere, 10 p.m. Japan time. I hope to see you there. Bye-bye.